Welcome to our roundtable discussion with Pamela Grimm. I'm so happy to have Pamela with us, and we're building on the affirmation, I live in an abundance of love. So, Pamela, welcome, welcome, welcome. Tell me what's going on with you. Tell me about your book. Tell me about what it's been like since the book has been out. Share.
Thank you, Reverend Jack. It is so good to see you, and I'm honored to be here. Thanks for inviting me. So this is my book,
Yes.
#Empowered, Gratitude and Affirmations Journal. So this is my second book, and this book came as a result of COVID-19. I was initially introduced to affirmations through Reverend Andriette Earl at Heart and Soul Center of Light.
Mhm.
Actually, I was more steeped in it with her, but I was introduced at East Bay Church of Religious Science 16 years ago. And then when Reverend Andriette started Heart and Soul in 2009, I was more steeped in and more interested in affirmations. And she would always talk about how they worked for her. And so I thought, if they work for her, they can work for me. And so my first book was on affirmations. This book initially was going to be volume 2 of the first book.
Gotcha.
But because of the shelter in place, I drew a blank. Nothing was coming.
Mhm.
And then I remembered Deborah Perdue, who is a CSL practitioner in Oregon. She wrote the Grace of Gratitude journals. And my spiritual sister gave me that book for my birthday a couple of years ago. And I loved it. And so I happened to be purging and cleaning out some things during our shelter in place and came across this journal. And I thought I could do my book based on the format of this journal. And why not use my favorite tools, affirmations and gratitude. I write a gratitude list nightly. Why not use those two things, merge them, and turn them into a book? And so that's what I did. And I've gotten very good feedback from the book. I have a friend that buys 2 or 3 every few months just for herself because she's using them. She's
using it as a workbook. She's writing in it. She's using
Yes.
it because that's the way it's designed.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's using it as a workbook. And so, and people have told me how empowering they are and how just by reading the book has jump-started their journaling, has jump-started their gratitude, their practice of writing a gratitude list. And that was the whole reason for doing it. I journal every night, I write a gratitude list every night, and I do an affirmation every morning. And so 3 of my favorite things are in this book. And so I said, why not do that?
And it's a great, as you said, it's a great way for teaching somebody this process.
Yes.
And, what I want to offer, so many of the people watching today are going to be new to the idea of journaling. They're going to be new to the idea of affirmations. And I think your book is an empowering way to kind of use your own word, #empowered, to jumpstart that process because you can't do it wrong.
Right.
But if you have a template to kind of fill in, to go along with, that really kind of get that juices going and on the road for doing the right thing, because if we think about it, and this is why I believe affirmations are so powerful, we have mind chatter that's going on all the time.
Yes.
An affirmation helps you to direct that chatter.
Absolutely.
And it gives you that opportunity to have some control over it. We're so unaware of the words that surround us. I was reading something earlier this morning that talked about, of the 250,000 years that humans have been on the planet, it's only been in the last several decades that we have, as a human being, interacted with more than 100 people in our lifetime.
Wow. Wow.
And our brain is equipped to really kind of manage the stimulus and the stimuli that those folks would be bringing to what we have to process.
Right.
And if you can imagine those early 80 or 90 people, not all of them were friendly. So a big part of our brain was safe, unsafe, run, stay, do whatever, And now we have all of the stimuli where we're looking at social media. And, it's like I was floored when I, looked up that first time and it says, you have over 1,000 friends. It's like, no, I don't. there's like 1,000 people that might have heard my name once, and we'll like him, but it's like, but we still have the effect of that stimuli coming in, and so affirmations are so essential for us to filter it out and go, ooh, let's focus on this. Let's do this thing. Let's think about this thing. What do you think, Pamela, would be the advice that you would give somebody who might be, over 60 or just retired or whatever, and thinking, okay, I need to do this for the first time. What is it that I would do?
So I use an affirmation app as well. And so on my smartphone. And so I've set it where I can get reminders 15 times a day. And it's amazing how when my mind might be going down that rabbit hole, that my chime will go off and I'll turn my phone over and it's like, that's exactly what I needed to hear. Everything is okay right now. Like, oh my, they are so powerful. And, just anything to change a negative mindset to a positive one. And it's, the rule of thumb is to use an I am statement. I am, rather than I will or I'm going, but I am, as if the action is already done. I am abundant. Not I will be abundant. I am abundant. The action is already done. And so what happens is when I think or focus on that statement, because what I focus on is what I experience. And it's amazing how affirmations have changed my relationship to money, because the words that I used to use in terms of my relationship with money was, I never have money. I don't have enough money to do the things that I would like to do. And so as soon as I turn that around, I am a money magnet. Money flows to me effortlessly. When I started incorporating those kinds of statements in my life, it was amazing how my relationship to money changed, because I started experiencing, I have enough money. I have enough money to do everything that I need to do, everything that I want to do. I have enough money to spend, save, and share. And so,
I love that.
Yes.
Spend, save, and share, the three S's.
Yes, I have enough money to spend, save, and share. And because money is energy. And so once I changed my focus from lack to abundance, it changed. And that's with everything. So I don't have to, like in my first book, I wrote a new definition for the acronym of fear, FEAR. Now I'm in a 12-step recovery program. And that is, one acronym is false evidence appearing real, FEAR. Another acronym is F everything and recover. Or F everything and run. F everything and run.
Uh-huh.
So
Mm-hmm.
the new definition that I wrote is fully expecting all rewards. FEAR. Why not change it? I mean, I make up the story anyway. I make up the story. So why not it be a good story? Fully expecting all rewards. And so as a result of affirmations, my life has transformed phenomenally. And it works like it really does work like magic.
Yes. Yeah.
It
So
really
talk to me about the gratitude portion. Talk to me about, when you say you go to sleep, before you go to sleep each
Yes.
night, you write your gratitude list. I heard someone mention, I don't count sheep, I count gratitude
Yes.
statements, or I count my blessings.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about that and why you think that is essential.
Well, first of all, the more grateful I am, the more I have to be grateful for. The more grateful I am, the more I'm blessed to be grateful for. Mm-hmm. And gratitude and negativity can't coexist, in my mind anyway. And so
right.
What a friend of mine, so in my I think it's in the to my readers or in acknowledgments, maybe. It may be to the reader. Yes, and to my readers page. It's page 1. A short time ago, a friend, Darlene Hartway, reminded me how powerful it is to not only list the things I'm grateful for, but to also write why I'm grateful for it. And so that was the same thing that I think it's Rhonda Byrne in, I forget the book it was, but we did that book in one summer school, where she said one of the exercises was not only write a gratitude, but write why you're grateful for it. Mm-hmm. And so writing what I'm grateful for, and I write 5 things, and I write why I'm grateful, and I write 5 different things every night, because there's always something to be grateful for. Like I write, I think it may have been last night. One of the things that I wrote on my list was, I am grateful for surrender, because it opens the possibilities for something else to happen. And so that's just, I'm grateful for my hands, because I can grasp things. So it can be something that's simple. It doesn't have to be anything deep, but when I write something like I'm grateful for my body because it helps me to move through this world. When I write something that's simple, that's just an illustration as to how there is always something to be grateful for. Every single day, you can find at least 5 things to be grateful for. And as long as I'm grateful for what I have, I get to experience more of that.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why that's so important.
What are you most grateful for at this time of your life?
My health.
Mm-hmm. Say more about that.
Because first of all, I'm a health and wellness coach, a fitness instructor, and I experienced a meniscus tear teaching a class last year. So today is the 18th. It'll be a year next Thursday that I had surgery. So being grateful for my health in this time of COVID, where I've experienced the transition of people dying from COVID. And I've seen other people, and they've lost family members as a result of COVID. I've lost friends as a result of COVID. My mother, who is 86, who lives with me, that's the other reason that I'm grateful for my health, because if I didn't have my health, then I could not care for my mother. If I didn't have my health, then I could not do the job that I do, which I love doing, that I have the passion for doing, and that's teaching classes, fitness classes, as well as being a personal trainer to women and men 40 and over. And all of my clients are over 50. So I have to be, that's number one right now, my health. It is so important for me to be able to do the things that I do. And I couldn't if I didn't have my health. So
what is the one thing that you are grateful for that 20 years ago you would have never imagined that you could have been grateful for?
Being unemployed.
Mm.
20 years ago, I could not have imagined that. 20 years ago, I only had 8 years clean. And so I really needed to work. I really needed to work. But what COVID did last year, it laid me off from a job as teaching in a corporate environment. And it gave me, and it opened up possibilities that I never knew before or never explored before. And that was the virtual world. And
Right.
so as a result of being unemployed and laid off, I'll never enter another gym. I'll always teach virtually.
Mm-hmm.
I was a mobile personal trainer, which meant I went to people's homes. I drove
Right.
to people's homes with all my equipment. I'll never do that again. Everything is virtual. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
so grateful for being unemployed. I'm so grateful for Zoom and all the other platforms that allow
I was
me.
just going to say that I am so grateful for Zoom,
Yes,
because who knew,
I
and
certainly didn't.
I'm sure the people at Skype are still kind of going, now what happened? That used to be us, but Zoom has really given connection.
Yes,
And one of the things that, if you'll remember, even from Elder Pride, we had our launch. We had our first gathering of
yes,
people coming together
yes.
in February of 2020. And then within 2 or 3
2
weeks,
weeks
the world shut down.
shut down.
And we had
Yes.
to immediately to go virtual
Mhm.
on a dime.
Yes, yes,
And thank God we did, because those mastermind groups that got together in that first month of being together, people just thought they'd be checking in with one another for a few days, because in those early days of the shutdown, we thought, oh, what is this, 2-3 weeks, we have to
right.
kind of like do this and watch. Well, a year and a half later, those groups are still meeting on a
Yes,
daily basis,
yes.
because they have created connection.
Mhm.
And as a facilitator, and I'm sure as a coach that you see some of this as well, I'm used to being in front of the room and seeing and feeling the energy. Well, now on Zoom, suddenly I have a close-up view of 25 faces.
Right,
And in the front of the room, I would have never been able to have been that intimate.
right.
And so on some levels, virtual is even more intimate than what live ever was. So I
Mhm.
can imagine that translates for you, and working with folks. I mean, I know people that are doing Pilates virtually and,
Mhm.
meditating with
Everything.
groups virtually. Mm.
Yes. And you can still get the energy.
You can.
You can still
You
get the
can.
energy virtually.
Absolutely still get that energy.
Yes,
And you get to see close up kind of what they're doing as well.
yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that form is there to be able to see that. So
Yes.
what's next for you? They're going to make a movie out of the book. What do you see as your next
Next.
book or your next teaching or your next writing? What's next for you?
So I am going to re-release my first book into a pocket-sized I'm thinking a pocket-sized book, just a little small one. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a page out of Iyanla Van Zant's 25th anniversary of her Acts of Faith, where she wrote a reflection.
Oh, okay.
So I've already started doing it, and I've written. In fact, I probably won't release it before the end of the year, but I have started it. And at the end of every affirmation, there's a reflection where you can reflect on a question that I asked. And so that's what's in the works in terms of my next book. And I plan to continue to teach and to be a coach for as long as my limbs will carry me. I'm going to continue to do that.
Well, good. So if folks are interested in working with you as a trainer or getting some coaching from you, tell them your website and how they can get a hold of you.
It's www.pamgfitness.com. And all my books are there. The links to my books are there. All my prices are there. The link to my classes. I teach 2 classes a week that are community classes. They're free classes. However, I do take donations and love offerings, but that information is also there. So there's no reason that you can't work. Money is not a barrier in terms of, working out and moving your body. So all of my information is on my website.
Great. And I think that, money is not an option, because our new definition of prosperity is to be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want.
That's right.
And, there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. And virtual reality gives us a great way to be able to do that.
Yes.
And so that's really cool. Well, Pam, I know that this has been, a fun time with you. If folks have questions, I hope they will post it in the chat comment on this YouTube channel. Okay. And I'm going to say that if you're one of the first 3 people to post a comment or to pose a question, you will receive a free copy of Pam's book.
Oh, wow.
Yay. So it's we want you to, and if you get the book and you already have the book, then you know that you're called to give that book away and to pass it on to somebody else.
And if you are one of the first people to get a book, you'll also get a free bookmark. Reverend Jack, I'll send you some of these so you can give them out. And it's a prayer that's on page 123 of the book that I've
made as a bookmark.
Yes.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, well, we will do that.
Yeah.
Pamela Grimm, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Thank you. Good luck to you. Thank you for teaching us how to live in an abundance of love and to see it each and every day, to go to sleep every night in absolute gratitude for what has unfolded during the day. Yes. And thank you for how you show up in the world.
Thank you, Reverend Jack. It's been an honor.
And we'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye-bye.